What's up, guys? It's Taco with Amped Up Outdoors. Today, I've got a little recipe for you. I've caught a snakehead the other day. Today, I've got my Atlas sushi kit. I picked this up off of Amazon. And today, I'm going to see if I can turn a snakehead into some snakehead sushi. Stay tuned. So my first step in this is going to be to make up some sushi rice. I just picked this up right over at Walmart. Now there's going to be a sushi rice seasoning I'm going to add, which is going to be basically rice wine vinegar, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt. We'll touch base on that once we get to that step. So my first step is going to be to open this up. I'm going to take about 2 cups of this and I'm going to rinse it off real good to get all the stuff off of it. So that's 1 cup. That's 2 cups. Now I'm going to take this over to the kitchen sink. Just run some water on this, kind of mix it around. Just trying to rinse that off as much as possible. So I've rinsed my rice out. As you can see, the water in the bowl was pretty clear. You can actually see the rice itself. So I'm going to drain this off. I'm going to add this to my saucepan, and then I'm going to add just about 2 cups of water to it. So there's 1 cup. And there's probably 3/4 of a cup. I don't want to add too much water. Now I'm going to get this on my stove. Heat it up to it boils. Once it begins to boil, I'm going to turn it down, put a lid on it, and let it go for about 25 minutes. So, to make up your sushi rice seasoning, you're going to use a 1/4 cup of rice vinegar. And I'm just going to put that in a bowl. I'm going to use 4 tablespoons or teaspoons of sugar. One, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 teaspoons of just regular white sugar. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon or so of salt. I'm just kind of going to eyeball that myself. So that's just some sea salt. And I'm just going to take a fork and just kind of mix this all around, get it all mixed together. Now once my rice is done cooking, like I said, I'm almost getting ready to start boiling. So once it starts boiling, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer and cook it for about 25 minutes. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping some snakehead fillet. So to do this, I'm not 100% sure about trying to eat a freshwater fish or a brackish water fish raw. I'm not sure of the safety of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steam some. I'm going to chop it and make it to like a spicy snakehead. And then I'm going to cut some strips and I'm going to do basically a dragon roll. So they'll be battered and fried and then rolled in the sushi. Sushi essentially means seasoned rice. It has nothing at all to do with raw fish. So this is all still authentic sushi. So I'm just cutting this fillet up into some smaller size pieces. It'll make it a little bit more manageable. I'm going to do about half of it as spicy snakehead, and then I'm going to do about half as a dragon roll. And I have my lovely taste tester actually behind the camera right now filming. So to steam this, I have a double steamer pot. Like I said, I've added a little bit of water to the bottom. Set the top pot in. Go ahead and turn it on. And I'm just going to throw this snakehead fillet in here and let it steam until it's pretty much cooked through. So in the pot, just have it arranged in a single layer. Put the lid on this. I'm going to let it steam till it's cooked about through. While that's steaming, I have the rice going. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to cut some smaller strips to make a snakehead tempura that we can roll up and make a dragon roll with. Okay, so to make a tempura batter up, I'm going to take just a cup of regular flour. Just add that to a bowl. In my other bowl, I'm going to take one large egg. Just whisk it up. Like I said, if you chose to add some form of seasoning to this, you can do that at your own taste. This is just a basic tempura recipe. To my one large egg, I'm going to take a cup of cold water. Now we filled a measuring cup up, added some ice to it to really chill it down quick. I'm going to just pour a cup of that out so I'm not getting the ice cubes. I'm going to add that cold water right to my egg. Make a mess here.
Naturally.
But it's okay because my wife likes to clean.
He lies.
Then I'm going to add the egg and ice water mixture to my flour slowly. Just kind of stirring it up as I go. Now I know tempura batter is supposed to be a little bit more soupy than like a traditional batter may be, or a pancake batter. You want it a little bit thinner. Again, if you think your batter's a little bit too thick, you can probably just add a little bit more water to it. But there's tons and tons of stuff out there on tempura batters. By no means am I the master or the go-to guy on this. So I'm just kind of whisking this together. Like I say, you can see it's kind of a thin batter. I have oil over here heating up while everything else is going. We'll just get a little bit of, and my oil's not ready yet. I've never been one to test oil with a thermometer or anything. Like I said, if I add a little bit of batter to it and it starts going, I know it's ready to cook. So we're going to let that heat up a little bit more. We'll check back in a minute. So we're back at it. My oil's gotten hot. Like I said, you can see it starting to bubble. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this fish fried up. Again, I apologize for the birds in the background. We may actually do some tempura bird here if they don't stop. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure you don't overload your pan too much. if you overload your pan, you'll actually bring your oil temperature down and it's going to take longer to cook. So just little bits at a time. So, got the tempura fish all done. Like I said, I'm just kind of letting this cool. I'm going to go ahead and just set it in my microwave for the time being to help keep it warm. My next step is going to be to add the seasoning to my sushi rice. So I'm getting the bowl out. I've got my pot of rice here. I'm just going to get this out. And I'm going to take my sushi rice paddle and just kind of fluff this around a little bit. Help get it to start cooling some. Like I said, I'm not really stirring. I'm just kind of exposing, kind of slicing into it. You know, I'm not trying to break the grains of rice up. So I just stir this around, kind of slice in, just to help start it cooling some. Then I'm going to take my rice seasoning that I mixed up earlier, and I am just going to pour it onto this rice paddle. And again, just kind of cut it in. Definitely has a good smell to it. Now I've got the seasoning kind of cut in. I'm just going to cover this with a kitchen towel and set it off to the side and let it rest for a bit. Now I'm going to start working on the spicy snakehead. In my pot here I had the snakehead that I steamed. I'm just going to kind of pull this out, lay it on this cutting board. Basically, all I'm going to do is take my knife and kind of rough chop this up. You know, into small chunks. Now you can mince this up as fine or as coarse as you would like. I'm just kind of taking my time trying to knock them big chunks down into smaller chunks. Now I'm going to take my chopped snakehead and try to do this like the pros do. Now to my snakehead, I'm going to add roughly about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. I might go just a hair more just because I have a little bit more here. And then I'm just going to kind of eyeball my sriracha. I want to say 2 teaspoons to 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise is kind of a standard. I personally like things a little bit more spicy. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball. That's probably about 2 teaspoons. Just want to kind of give it a mix up. Give it a little taste. I'm gonna add just a dash more sriracha. And that's looking pretty good. Like I said, again with this, everybody's taste a little different. So if you want to adjust to what suits you and your family, by all means do so. While I'm here, I'm going to give this board knife a quick rinse. And I'm going to grab out some green onion. Grab a couple of them here. Give them a quick rinse off. Again, on that, you can adjust however you see fit. If you like onion and you want a lot, you know, go ahead and put a lot in. So basically, that's our finished product. I'm going to go ahead and cover this with a little bit of saran wrap. Let it rest in the fridge while I do the prep work for the other roll. And then we'll continue on. So for my other roll, I'm doing like a simulated kind of dragon roll, or what my understanding of a dragon roll is. So I'm going to take a cucumber. Just kind of split it in half. Split those halves in half. And I'm just cutting me some thin strips of cucumber. Basically, I'm going to take and cut the seeds out. Because I don't want a whole bunch of moisture in my roll. And I'm also taking the skin off. Or most of the skin. And I'm just going to put these on a paper plate. Set them off to the side for the time being. I have an avocado here. And my avocado, I'm just kind of peeling it. So I have my cucumber and avocado peeled and kind of set to the side. Here in a minute, I'm going to get the nori out and start assembling these rolls. So, to make these rolls up, I have a bamboo rolling mat. The bamboo rolling mat on one side's round, on the other side's flat. You want to lay your mat flat side up. You're going to get yourself a piece of nori. Now that has a smooth side and a rough side. You want to lay it smooth side down. I'm going to wet my hands a little bit. This is just a little bit of water and maybe a teaspoon of rice wine vinegar. Just helps kind of keep the rice from sticking to my hands. And I'm going to grab a handful of rice, about the size of a cue ball to start. Wet my hands a little bit. And I'm going to take and just spread this rice all the way over the nori. You know, I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm just kind of using my fingertips to manipulate it where it needs to go. Grab a little bit more here. This is the part that separates the master sushi chefs, sorry, that was a mouthful, from us amateurs. Because they do this and make it look so easy. Again, I had the nori lying rough side up. Just filling in a couple little holes here. Now I'm going to take some black sesame seeds and just give a little sprinkle around. My next step is going to be to grab my nori turn it upside down. Pull my spicy snakehead from the fridge. And just made a line across my nori. It's probably about 3/4 of the way up is where I started. Now I'm going to grab my bamboo rolling mat, which I have covered with saran wrap. And I'm just kind of going to roll and gently squeeze. Take my knife. Just kind of straighten the ends up a little bit. Now I'm going to get my mat over top of it. Just like so. I'm squeezing a little bit too hard. As you can see, a lot of it's coming out the ends. I'm going to wet my knife. Give it a quick wipe off. Definitely trying to keep my knife clean. And when I'm cutting, I'm applying very, very little pressure. So there I have some some spicy snakehead rolls. Granted, my presentation and my rolls aren't perfect, but I'm not an expert at this by no means. I'm just trying something different. I'm going to put this away and I'm going to grab and make a dragon roll. So to make the dragon roll, again, I'm going to start with a piece of nori. Again, I'm going to lay it rough side up. It's hard to see. This side's your smooth side. This side's your rough side. The smooth side has a real good sheen to it. Again, I'm going to dip my hands in that water vinegar mixture. Get them kind of wet. Go over to my sushi rice. Just start going all the way to the edge of the nori. Again, I'm just trying to get a pretty nice even layer of rice. Again, a little bit of black sesame seeds. And just like before, I'm going to pick my nori up and flip it over on itself. Then I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of this tempura snakehead. About like so, maybe one more little piece. And a couple of slices of our cucumber. Just like before, kind of hold it in place. I'm using my rolling mat. To apply pressure. Now I'm going to take my avocado. The videos I watched on this made it look a lot easier than what this actually is. I'm going to find a piece of plastic wrap. I'm going to cover my roll with some plastic wrap. Then I'm going to take my bamboo mat. Just kind of hold it like so. Wet my knife real good. Pull my plastic wrap off, and we have a much better presentation on this one. You know, my pieces may be a little bit big, But I'm gonna keep trying this. And I'm sure it'll get a little bit better as my knife skills and my rolling skills improve. So here we go again. I have a spicy snakehead roll, and then I have a dragon roll made from a dragon. That's good spicy snakehead. Now for the dragon roll. That's some really good stuff. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope to see you on the next one. Be sure to give us a like and a subscribe.